All right, we received a little stock up on some of our favorite SK carbon steel knives from Sakai Kikumori. This is the Nihonko range, and we got a stock up on all three sizes of the petty knife. There's a 120, a 150, and a 180 millimeter. We love the 180 millimeter because it can also double up as a boning knife. It looks like a little mini sujihiki, so it's great for cleaning silver skin off of beef tenderloin or strip loin, or even carving small cuts of meat like steak or chicken breast there before you send it out. But I love this range of knives. They're super affordable. They're easy to sharpen. They're great knives for butchers, I think, because butchers have to sharpen their knives quite often. So this steel is super easy to sharpen, and you don't have to worry too much about harmful oxidation when you are cutting meat all day, because that meat, in particular red meat, will push along a patina, and it'll help create that healthy patina on there. So I always liked having SK carbon knives for my butcher knives when I was working as a chef. So there's three sizes of the petty knife back in stock. We also received some of these Hanasuki. This is the Maru style. Maru is for hanging butchery. This knife is quite rigid. There's absolutely no flex to it. It's good for doing whole animals, but it's designed for that hanging butchery style. This has got a blunt edge right here for the first inch and a half on the blade. That's for scraping bones and in case you slip as well. This is the more common type of Hanasuki that you see. This is the Hanasuki Kaku, and this one is designed specifically for breaking down poultry and small game and that kind of stuff, rabbit. We got a big stack of these in because, as many of you know, you saw yesterday I posted on Instagram that we have a ton of Conroe grills coming to us. So we're going to try and stock up on all of our Hanasuki and have the summer of yakitori this year. So this knife right here is the yakitori chef's tool of choice. It's specifically designed for taking apart chickens and making the most out of the chicken. For yakitori, they focus on all the different muscles of the bird, and the Hanasuki helps you break down the bird in all the different parts, because all the different muscles have different flavors, so they like to feature different muscles on different skewers. We received a nice big stack of the 180 millimeter Gyuto from the Nihonko range. Super affordable. I think it's around $100. Awesome little knife to learn how to sharpen on. Great little knife to learn how to take care of a carbon steel knife. For some cooks that may be on the fence about whether or not you want to try out a carbon steel knife, well, this range is perfect for satisfying that curiosity, because you don't have to invest a lot of money. We also received the two sizes of sujihiki in this range, the 240 millimeter and the 270. Sujihiki is just a meat slicer, and they're lovely for slicing the roasts or portioning meat. That long, slender profile helps you just do one clean slice, and you should avoid sawing through your meat at all costs. Just sticking with some more Sakai Kikumori Western style knives. We got a little restock on the standard series. We carry this series for just an affordable stainless steel option. Low maintenance mono steel knives. Really nice and thin behind the edge, so they're very easy to sharpen. These are made with molybdenum vanadium steel. Pretty durable stuff. If you're a little bit of a heavier hand or worried about chipping knives, then maybe this line is for you. This is the 210mm Gyuto from the standard series, and we also received a little stock up on the 240mm sujihiki. I pretty much get these in for people that are looking for a little bit of a longer fillet knife, because it's got a little bit of flex to it. So this is good for some fish butchery as well, skinning salmon or taking apart halibuts. If you're not into the Deba knives, then this is a good option. We received a new addition to the SG2 Western series. It's a 90mm paring knife or petty knife. We love this series. It's got a Maigaki polished finish, nice and simple. This is a 120mm petty. These are Sanmai construction. The core of the knife is SG2, probably our favorite stainless steel here at the shop. Easy to sharpen, holds an edge quite well, and usually we see this type of steel hardened to 63 or 64 on the Rockwell scale. So great edge retention, easy to sharpen. These ones are ground with a little bit of a convex grind to them, so they have good food release, and they'll be nice and easy to resharpen when the time comes. Sakai Kikumori SG2 Western series. All right, we also received a little restock on some of the Nami knives. This line of knives we introduced to the shop right before Christmas. These are from Sakai Kikumori as well. These knives are made with AUS 10A, which is a AUS steel that's slightly harder than AUS 8 because of the annealing process. This steel is rated at around 61 on the Rockwell scale, so another great entry-level Japanese steel, which is really easy to sharpen, and this stuff's pretty durable as well. So you can see they're named Nami after the kind of wave-like damascus patterns on there. That was the 150 or 130mm petty. We also received a stock up on the 210mm Gyuto. All-purpose chef knife. We love the handles on these. The single piece burnt and lacquered oak handles are really slick. I really like them. They're really resistant to water, and I think they look rad. And we also reordered some of the Blue 2 Nishiji knives from Sakai Kikumori, but they're all out of stock right now except for the Santoku. So we got a couple copies of the Santoku, and hopefully we'll see the rest of the line up back on our website and in store sometime this year, because we love that line of knives. So a couple of Santokus, and I think we have some bunkas left still. Some more knives from Sakai Kikumori from their Asagiri lineup. We're really excited about these ones. These knives are forged by Yoshikazu Tanaka, and they are stainless clad, which you don't see very often. He doesn't work with too much stainless steel. He's usually forging everything with carbon steel. So kind of rare to see. We're really excited to have these in. We only got a few of these to start, but we have more on order. These ones are white number 2 core, steel core, and they're wrapped in a stainless cladding with like a nice kasumi finish on there. This is the 180mm bunka. We also received a couple of these 150mm Kiritsuke tipped petty from the Asagiri lineup from Sakai Kikumori and Yoshikazu Tanaka. Yoshikazu Tanaka, or Tanaka Uchi Hamono, and Kawamura Hamono, aka Sakai Kikumori. These two families have been working together for over 50 years now. They have been collaborating. We also received a couple Toyo knives couple of gyutos. This is the 240 millimeter gyuto from the Toyo line. This line is also forged by Yoshikazu Tanaka. This has a white number 2 steel core and a soft iron cladding. They are mirror polished. You can kind of see an iridescent look to them. That's a vinyl coating to help prevent from scratching in transit. That should be removed when you get the knife. I love the handles. The magnolia handles are all sanded and polished down, so they feel nice and slick. But these are awesome. We have a couple more Toyos that we received before this order. There's a 270 in stock as well. Beautiful knives. They have a flat grind down, well, a little bit of a concave grind down from the Shinogi line. All right, next up, still sticking with the Sakai Kikumori, we have received some knives from all 3 of the Kikazuki lineup. So all of these knives are forged by Yoshikazu Tanaka, one of our favorite blacksmiths. Yeah, let's get right into it. We received a little stock up on some of his yanagibas from the Kikazuki Kasumi line. These knives are forged with white carbon number 2. We got a 240 millimeter yanagiba, magnolia handle, and also a 207, or sorry, this is a 270 millimeter yanagiba, and this is the 300 millimeter. For slicing raw fish and meat. We received a few different shapes from the Uzu line. We have already received a couple of the Uzu line knives at the end of last year, and I started using the 240 millimeter gyuto at home actually. So I've been using this for the past couple of months and I love it. This is the blue number 1 steel core, which, as some of you know, is Tanaka's favorite steel to forge with, and he is world famous for the treatment of blue number 1. People go crazy for these knives. But they are really easy to sharpen and they have great edge retention. I've just sharpened this knife once very lightly on a 3000 grit stone, and it's been performing super well for me for at home anyways. It's just holding an edge for a very long time. I can really see this being an awesome knife for a professional. Very nice Damascus patterns. These ones have a convex grind, but they're still pretty thin, so not quite laser thin, but so we received a few of the bunkas, 180 millimeter. They call them 180 millimeter, but they're actually, the edge length on these are 165 millimeter because they're measuring from the handle to the tip in that part of Japan, in Sakai. But we're more used to the heel to the tip. So there's the 165 bunka. We have a 150 millimeter petty. This one's got quite a pronounced convex grind to it, so pretty tough little petty. Beautiful cladding line there. And we also received some 240 millimeter Kikazuki tipped gyutos. Nice flat profile on that one. Meant for push-pull style chopping. And Tanaka's Damascus work is beautiful. So we also received some of these Kikazuki Kiro or Kurochi knives. We got some of the bunkas, again 165 millimeter edge length. These ones are forged with white number 2, and they have a soft iron cladding, and they're sanmai construction, so there's just 3 layers of steel on these ones. This is the 150 millimeter petty and the 240 millimeter Kiro gyuto, forged by Tanaka-san.